Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we will talk about polynomials and algebraic expressions. We will simplify them. We will do addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. What do we mean by a polynomial? A polynomial is an algebraic expression that consists of variables and coefficients. Polynomials involve only the operation of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and be careful, if we talk about exponents should be non-negative and integer to the variables. Now, algebraic expressions are considered to be polynomials, but in only one variable. Some examples for polynomials. The first example, 2x plus 1. We have two terms, if you remember from the previous video. This is a term and this is another term. And here the exponent is equal 1, which is non-negative, and it is an integer. Another example, negative 3 over 2x squared minus 2y plus 4. In this example, we have two variables. The first variable is x, and the second variable is y. The exponent for the first one is 2, which is non-negative and integer, and for the second one it is 1. Again, it is non-negative and integer. It's true that the coefficient for x squared is negative 3 over 2, which is fraction. But this is possible for coefficients. Example number 3. 3xy minus 9. This is again a polynomial. We have two variables, they are multiplied by each other, x times y. For the first one, x, and for the second one, y. The exponents are 1 and 1, positive or non-negative, and integers. Look at the following example. 5x to the power negative 4 plus y minus 3. This one is not a polynomial. Why it's not a polynomial? Because we have two variables. For the first one, the exponent here is negative, which is not allowed to have a polynomial. It's true that the second one is y, and its exponent is 1, which is non-negative and integer. But for x, it's true that it's integer, but it is negative, which is not allowed. The second example in non-polynomials. 9x cubed plus 1 over y. We know that 1 over y from the previous video is y to the power negative 1. So one of the variables has a negative exponent. So this is not polynomial. X to the power 3 over 2 minus minus 4x plus 6. We have only one variable, which is x. But for the first variable here, or the first term, the exponent is 3 over 2, and 3 over 2 is not integer. So that's why this example is considered to be a non-polynomial example. We will do the addition and subtraction in polynomials. Examples, we need to simplify. We need to simplify 2x plus 3x minus 3. Now, in case of addition and subtraction, again, addition and subtraction, we need to have the same variable with the same exponent. I'll repeat that again. If we need to add or subtract two variables, both variables should be the same, x and x, y and y, and should have the same exponent. So x and x is okay. X squared and x squared is okay, but not x squared and x cubed, or x squared and x to the power 1, which is x. If we have the same variable, the same base, with the same exponent, we should add or subtract the coefficients. In this example, the coefficient here for x is 2, and for the second one is 3. And what I want you to note, x here is the same as x here. So we can add them. Add 2x plus 3x. What we should do, we should add the coefficients. 2 plus 3, which is equal to be 5x. Now, since negative 3 is alone, we don't have any other constant, we should leave it as it is. So the answer is 5x minus 3. Second example. We have negative x plus 4x, negative 6 plus x. Let's rewrite it in this way. I'll start with the x's, and then I'll leave the constants at the end. Negative x plus 4x, and then, be careful here, x, the sign of x is positive, so I'll say positive x, and then what is the sign of the number or the constant 6? The sign is negative, so I write it as negative 6 equal. What I want you to note, we have x to the power 1, x to the power 1, and x to the power 1. What are the coefficients that I have? I have negative 1, and I have positive 4, and I have positive 1. We can do it. Negative 1 and plus 4, or positive 4 is 3. 3 plus 1, which is equal to be 4. Or sometimes we can cancel this with this, and the answer should be positive 4. So we can write it as positive 4, or write it as 4 only, and then the axis, which is x. And then, since we have only one constant, which is 6, write it as it is, which is negative 6. So the answer is 4x minus 6, or negative 6. In this example, we have two brackets. First of all, we need to rewrite the example without having any bracket. So the first thing here to write, 2x will be the same, 2x minus 4. The second thing to do, or to consider, if we have a bracket and the sign of the bracket is positive, write the bracket as it is. Don't do anything with the bracket. So this 3x is positive, so forget this now. This positive or plus will tell you only to write the bracket as it is. So this 3x, but we need the sign for 3x. The sign of the 3x is positive, so I'll write it as positive 3x and plus 4. So now I have the example. Similar to the previous examples, we have no brackets. The second step, to combine the x's together, or to rewrite the example again, starting with the x's and then ending with the constants. 2x will remain 2x. What's 3x? Its sign is positive, so positive 3x. Then the constant 1 is negative 1, and then 4, positive 4. 2x and 3x, the x's are the same. So we can add the coefficients. 2 plus 3, which is 5x. Negative 1 and plus 4, the answer is positive 3. Again, we have two brackets. So the first bracket will remain the same. Negative x plus 2y minus 1. Positive before the bracket means write the bracket as it is. Now forget this. It just tells you what? That you have to keep the bracket as it is. So 2x with negative, so negative 2x plus 7. Let's combine the x's. By the way, in this example, we have two variables. The first one is x and the second one is y. So let's start with the x's. Negative x and then negative 2x. And then let's go to the y's, positive 2y. And then the constant. The first one is negative 1 and then the second one is positive 7. Negative 1 and plus 7 or positive 7. Can we combine the three variables here or the three terms? No. We can do only the negative x and negative 2x. X and x are the same. So negative 1, which is here negative 1, and negative 2 will give us negative 3. And then x. Keep the y because there is no other y's. So 2y. What about the constants? Negative 1 and plus 7. And the answer is plus 6. Now, let me explain why I said if you have positive and positive before the bracket, keep the bracket as it is. This plus means to multiply this sign by whatever inside. So this plus here, if we multiply by plus, it will give us plus. And plus times plus will give us plus for the second example. Plus times negative or minus will give us negative. And plus, if we multiply it by positive, it will give us positive. In this example, we have two brackets again. The first step, to get rid of the brackets. So in the first bracket, keep what is inside the bracket as it is. So it's going to be x squared negative 3 plus 3x. And the second plus here, or positive, it means you have to keep what is inside the bracket as it is, which is negative 2x. Be careful, be careful, be careful. I know you're going to say here we have x and here we have x and here we have x. We have to combine them together. The answer is no. Again, in the plus and minus, the x's should be the same, or the variable should be the same, and the exponent should be the same. In this case, the exponent here is equal to 2. So keep it as it is. And combine it with other x squared if you have, but we don't have here in this example. Then we need to get the plus 3x and then the negative 2x. And finally, the constant, which is negative 3. So in this example, we have to keep x squared because it is alone. No other x squares exist in this example. What about plus 3x and negative 2x? See, we have x, and they have the same exponent. So we can add and subtract the coefficients. 3 minus 2 is equal 1. So the answer should be 1x. And then what's left is the constant. But you know that we don't write 1x. So the answer is going to be x squared plus x negative 3. y inside the bracket minus or negative 5x squared plus z. In this example, we have three variables, y, x, and z. And then the second bracket, we have 6x squared plus y squared minus or negative z plus 9. So keep the first bracket as it is, 2y minus or negative 5x squared plus z. And then this plus, just tell you, keep the second bracket as it is. But this 6 is positive, so you have to write it as plus 6x squared plus y squared minus z plus 9. Now, let's start with the highest exponents. So we have negative 5x squared and we have 6x squared. Minus or negative 5x squared plus 6x squared. Then how many y's do we have? We have only one y squared. So plus y squared. Then let's go with that. Do we have any other x's? No. Do we have y's? Yes, we have plus 2y. Do we have z's now? Yes, we have z and negative z, plus z, negative z. And how many constants do we have? We have only one constant, which is 9. Now, we can combine only those, and here only. X squared, y squared cannot be combined with y because they have different exponent, and z's here. The easiest part is this. Cancel this with this, because plus z and minus z or negative z will give us 0. Okay? Plus 1 and minus 1 will give you 0. So what about negative 5 and x and 6? The answer is what? 1. So it's 1, and keep the x squared as it is. The only thing to do is to play with the coefficients. Negative 5 and plus 6 or positive 6. And the answer is positive 1. And then we have y squared plus 2y and plus 9. But we know that we don't need the 1 as a coefficient, so it's x squared plus y squared plus 2y plus 9. We have two brackets again, x squared negative 3 plus 3x minus negative 2x negative 9. The first bracket, keep it as it is, x squared minus 3 or negative 3 plus 3x. Now, what if we have a negative sign before the bracket? We saw in the previous examples we have plus or positive sign before the bracket, and we have to keep the bracket as it is. But now, be careful and be careful and be careful. The negative sign, again, we will cancel it, but it tells us that we have to change what is inside the bracket. Again, it tells us we have to change what is inside the bracket. This is negative, so it will become positive 2x, and this negative again, it will become positive. Now, why is that? If we think about it this way, negative times negative will give us positive, and negative times negative again will give us positive. That's why if you have a negative sign before the bracket, the only thing to do is to change the signs of the coefficients inside the bracket. So let's combine. We will have 3x and we'll have 2x. And here x squared alone. X squared plus 3x plus 2x. So what are the coefficients? We have negative 3 and we have positive 9. Negative 3 plus 9 or positive 9. X squared will remain the same. 3x and 2x will be combined. 3 plus 2 is 5, so it's plus 5x. Negative 3 and plus 9 is known to be positive 6. Another example with negative sign before the bracket. 2y minus or negative 5x squared will remain the same. 2y negative 5x squared. This negative will be cancelled, but it tells us to change the signs inside the bracket. The first sign is positive, so it will become negative 6x squared. And this is positive, it will become negative y. Let's combine now. I'll start with the highest exponents. So we have negative 5x squared and negative 6x squared. Negative 5x squared, negative 6x squared. Then we have y and we have negative y. So plus 2y and negative y. Negative 5 and negative 6 will give us negative 11. and keep the x squared as it is. 2y minus y. 2 minus 1 is 1 plus 1y, but we know we don't need the 1y, so it's negative 11 x squared plus y. Y cubed plus x minus 8 plus 5x minus another bracket y squared minus x, or negative x. I'll keep the first bracket as it is, negative cubed plus x minus 8 plus 5x. Now this will be cancelled, but it tells us to change what is inside the bracket. The first one is positive, so it will become negative y squared. And the second one negative, it will become positive x. Now let's combine. Y cubed, it has nothing again, or we don't have any other cubed. Then we have negative y squared. We have x and 5x and x. So plus x plus 5x, or positive, and positive x. And finally, we have only one constant, which is negative 8. Y cubed and y squared, we can do anything in case of the addition and subtraction, so keep them as they are. X plus 5 is 6, x plus 1x is equal 7x. So the three terms will be replaced with 7x. And finally, negative 8. Let me just modify this example and add a negative sign here. What if we have a negative sign? We did a lot of examples with positive sign before the first bracket. Now let's change this to have a negative sign. Negative before the bracket means you have to change the signs inside the bracket. The first term is xy, and xy here is positive, so it will become as negative xy. The second one is negative, but it will become plus 9z. And then the third one is negative, it will become positive y squared. Then again, we have a negative sign here. Negative will be cancelled as this. So it will become as, this will be changed. This is positive, it will become negative 2xy. And this is positive, it will become as a negative z. Let's combine. I'll start with the highest exponent. We have only y squared, so y squared. And then we will move to xy. So we have negative xy and negative 2xy. Negative xy and negative 2xy. And then we have 9, positive 9z and negative z. Positive 9z and negative z. Do we have any other y squared? No, so keep it as it is. Now, what about this term? Now forget the xy. Xy is exactly as xy here. So consider as like one variable. Forget that we have two variables multiplied by each other. Negative 1 and negative 2. This is what we think. They are the similar terms. Xy is the same as xy. Negative 1 and negative 2 is negative 3, and then keep the variables as it is, which is two variables, xy. What about 9z minus z? It's positive 8z. Let's move to the multiplication. A simple example. What if we have 2 times a bracket that has 2x plus 3x negative 3? I'll solve this example in two methods, or two ways. The first way is to multiply 2 inside the bracket after each sign. So how many signs do we have? We have 2 signs. Sorry, 3 signs, because this one is not written. So after the first sign, multiply. After the second sign, multiply. And after the third time, multiply. So as if we have 2 times 2x. And then keep the sign, which is plus 2 times 3x. and keep the sign, which is minus 2 times 3. Be careful. Now we finish the addition and subtraction. What we are doing is the multiplication. We have a constant, which is 2, times a bracket. We have to multiply this constant, which is 2, after each sign. It means by each term. How many terms do we have here? We have 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms. Now, 2 times 2x. When you multiply such thing, you have to multiply the coefficient or the constant by the coefficient. 2 times 2 is 4x. That's it. What about here? 2 times 3 is 6x. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Now what I want you to note, we have addition. And we have the same base with the same exponent. So 4x plus 6x will give us 10x minus 6. We have to stop here. We can't do anything. Now, the other way, I'll rewrite the example. 2 times 2x plus 3x minus 3, or negative 3. Keep the 2 outside. We know that 2x times 3x is equal what? Is equal 5x. Negative 3. Now, we changed the 3 terms into only 2 terms. So multiply 2 and multiply 2 again here. 2 times 5x and then negative or minus 2 times 3. 2 times 5x is 10x. Negative 2 times 3 is x, negative 6. See? The answers are exactly the same. What if we have negative 3 times the negative x plus 4x, negative 6 plus x? Again, we can simplify negative x, 4x, and x. Let's do it. Negative 3 times negative x plus 4x plus x. By the way, negative x with x will cancel each other. So what's left? 4x negative 6. 4x negative 6. How many terms do we have? We have 2 terms. So negative 3 will be multiplied by the first one, or the first term, and it will be multiplied by the second term. So it's negative 3 times 4x. This minus will come here. And then we have negative 3, I can write it as this, negative 3 times 6. But I prefer to put them between 2 brackets. Negative 3 times 4x will give us negative 3 by 4 is negative 12x. Now you are free. You can multiply negative 3 by negative 3 will give us positive 3 times 6, which is 18, plus 18. Or you can say, or I'll keep the negative outside, and then we know that negative 3 times 6 is negative 18. But negative with negative will give us positive, so it's positive 18, which is exactly this term. If we multiply now by a variable, not a constant, as the previous 2 examples, again, we have to do the same thing. Negative x will be multiplied by each term. So it will be multiplied by 3, and it will be multiplied by negative 4y, and it will be multiplied by negative 6. So it's negative x times 3x. And this negative will come here negative, and then again negative x by 4y. And again the negative will come here, and then negative x times 6. which is equal. Negative 1 by 3 is the negative 3. In case of the multiplication, if you have constant and a variable times constant and a variable, multiply the constant by the constant and the variable by the variable. Negative 3, negative 1 by 3 is negative 3. Now what about x times x? Do you remember the previous video? We said x times x. What we should do? We should add the powers. So it's x to the power 1 plus 1, which is x to the power 2. So x times x is equal x squared. Now negative with negative will give us positive 1. So forget now. So this times this is positive. Now consider the 1. 1 times 4 is 4. X times y. If you have two different variables, the only thing to do to combine them. So if we have x times y, the answer is xy. Another example, if we have like y times z squared, it's yz squared. So x times y is xy. Now negative by negative will give us positive. X times 6, remember, it's 6x. Now, we can't combine this or with this. So we have to stop here. And this is the simplest way or form that we can reach. Y squared times 2x plus y negative or minus y cubed. Again, it will be multiplied by each term. The y squared, I mean. So it's y squared times 2x plus y squared times y minus y squared times y cubed. Remember, do we have a number? Yes, we have 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Y squared and x will give us y squared x. Now some people ask, is y squared x equal x y squared? The answer is yes. We know that the multiplication is commutative. So y squared x is equal as x y squared. So when I multiply here y squared times x, it is y squared x or x y squared, doesn't matter. Plus y squared times y. See, it is again, this is multiplication, not addition. In the multiplication, we need only the same base. The base here is y and the base here is y. What we should do, we should say y to the power 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1. Minus. Again, y squared and y cubed. The bases are the same, y and y. What we should do, we should add the exponents. So y to the power 2 plus 3. So it's 2 y squared x plus y cubed minus y to the power 5. Be careful with this. A bracket times a bracket. In the previous examples, we did bracket plus bracket. And we said that we should get rid of the brackets. This is not addition and subtraction. This is a bracket times a bracket. And unfortunately, I've seen a lot of students do the following. X minus 2, x plus 4. They do the following. Okay, x times x and negative 2 times 4. X times x, we know that x squared. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. This is wrong. Be careful. In order to do this multiplication, you need to do the same. Multiply first of all the x by each term. And then multiply the 2 or negative 2 by each term. So x will be multiplied by x, and then plus will come here. X will be multiplied by 4, x times 4. Then this negative will come here, negative 2 times x, 2 times x. This negative again times will come here, 2 times 4, 2 by 4 bracket or point or whatever. X times x, we know that it is x squared. X times 4, we know that it is 4x. Negative 2 times x, negative 2x. Negative 2 by 4 is negative 8. Should we stop? No. We still can simplify it, these two terms. So it's x squared. In case of addition and subtraction, again, I'm reminding you, x and x should have the same, we should have the same basis, which is, in this case, x and x, and they should have the same exponent, which is 1 and 1. So what we should do, we should add the coefficients. The first coefficient that we have is 4, and the second one is negative 2. 4 and negative 2 is plus 2 or positive 2x, and then negative 8. Y plus 1 times 2x plus y minus or negative y cubed. Again, the y should be multiplied by each term, and the 1 also should be multiplied by each term. Y should be multiplied by 2x. I prefer to use the brackets rather than the point. And then y times plus. This plus will come here, this one. Y times y with a point, or let me use the brackets. And then this negative will come negative y times y cubed. So I finished the y. I have to move to the 1. This plus will come as plus 1 times 2x. And then this plus will come as plus 1 times y, 1 times y. And this negative will come as a negative 1 times y cubed, 1 times y cubed. Again, the coefficient here is equal 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Y times x is yx or xy. I prefer to write it as xy. Y times y is y squared. Y, this negative will come as a negative. Y times y cubed is y to the power, because we have to add the power. 1 plus 3 is y to the power 4. 1 times 2x is 2x. 1 times y is y. Negative 1 times y cubed is y cubed. Do we have any similar terms? No. This is xy, y squared, y to the power 4, x, y, and negative or y cubed. So this is the simplest form that we can reach for this example. X squared minus y plus 1 times x minus 9. Again, we should multiply this by each term here, and then the y, and finally also the 1. I'll start with x squared. X squared will be multiplied by x. Then the minus will come as minus. X squared times 9. Then I'll move to the minus here. The plus will come as plus. Be careful, this is minus y times x. The minus will come as negative or minus. The y is negative y times 9. Then the 1 times x. This is positive, so it will become as positive 1, which is, put it between brackets, times x. And the negative here will come as negative 1 times 9. X squared times x is equal x cubed. Negative 9 times x squared, or x squared times 9. We know that 9 times x squared, the negative will come a negative. 9x squared is 9x squared. positive times this negative will give us negative. Y times x is equal xy or yx. Negative times negative will give us positive times y times 9, so 9y. The answer is positive. 9 times y is 9y. 1 times x is only x. Negative 1 or negative will come as negative. 1 times 9 is 9. Do we have any similar terms? No, we don't have. So this is the simplest form. X plus 2 squared. I've seen a lot of students do the following mistake. X plus 2 squared, they do the following. The answer is x squared, square the first one and square the second one, which is plus 4. And this is wrong. What do we mean by squared? Squared means you multiply the bracket by itself 2 times. So let me write this as x plus 2 times x plus 2. So what we will do, we will multiply this by this and this here and this one here, as we did with the previous examples. So x times x, x by x. And x by 2, the sign is positive, so positive x by 2, x by 2. And then we'll start here again. This is positive, it will become positive. 2 times x, so it's 2 times x. And here again positive, so it's positive 2 by 2. X times x is known to be x squared. 2 by x or x by 2 is known to be 2x. Start with the coefficients, okay, all the times. If you multiply a variable with the coefficient, start with the coefficient. As here, 2 by x is 2x. 2 by 2 is 4. Should we stop that? No. 2x and 2x can be simplified. So the answer is x squared. 2x and 2x will give us 4x. And then finally, plus 4. What I want you to notice here, this one is not the same as this. You are missing one term here. And the rule here to do such things can be written as this. A plus b squared is equal. Square the first one, which is a squared, plus 2 times the first one, which is a, times the second one, which is b, plus the second one squared, b squared. So if you have a plus b squared, inside bracket squared, square the first one and square the last one, or the second one, and then multiply 2 times the first one times the second one. If we apply this rule here, I'll do it directly. Square the first one, so x squared, plus multiply 2 times the first one times the second one. 2 times 2 times the first one, which is x, times the second one, plus square the second one, which is 2 squared. So the answer is x squared plus 2 times x is 2x, times 2 is 4x. Plus, we know that 2 squared is equal 4. See, this is exactly the same. Now let's do the subtraction. Again, a lot of students do the following mistake. X minus 3 squared. The answer is x squared minus the second one, which is 9. 3 squared is 9. So the answer here, as I said, it's not true. Let's again do the following. Y minus 3 times 1 minus y minus 3. This by this and this here, and this by this and this by this. The answer is y times y. And y, and this minus will come as minus 3, y times 3. Then negative 3 times y. So this is the positive here will become as positive. Negative 3 times y. And this negative will come negative. Negative 3 with between two brackets, negative 3, and then negative 3 again. y times y is known to be y squared. Minus will become as minus or negative. 3 times y is 3y. Negative by positive is negative. 3y is 3y. Negative by negative is positive. Positive 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. Should we do something? Yes. This will become as what? Y squared. Negative 3y. Negative 3y is known to be negative 6y. And this is negative 9. See, you are missing something here. And the rule here, if you have a minus b squared, the answer is a squared minus or negative 2 times a times b plus b squared. If we apply this, I wanted you to do it as an exercise. Apply this here, you will get the same. So in case of positive, it's a squared plus 2 times a times b plus b squared. In case of it is minus or negative, so it's a squared. The only difference between this formula and the previous formula is here. This will become negative 2 times a times b plus b squared. What if we have x minus 2 squared times 2x minus y squared minus 5? Again, what I want to do, first of all, let me get rid of the square here. So I'll apply the rule. The rule says the first one squared minus 2 times the first one times the second one. 2 times x is 2x times negative. By the way, this is minus, okay? So it will become minus 2 times 2, 4 times x is x. So it's 4x. Then plus, according to this, the second one is square of 2 squared is equal 4. Try to do it by yourself, you will get this answer. Times 2x minus y squared minus 5. Again, I have to multiply first of all the x's. So it's x squared times 2x. And then minus, again, x squared times y squared. Again, this is minus x squared times 5. Then I'll multiply minus 4x times the 3 terms here. The first one is positive, so I write it as positive, and the answer here is, or the term is negative 4x times 2x. This is negative, so it will become as negative 4x times y squared. This is negative, it will become as negative, again 4x squared times 5. Then finally, the 4 will be multiplied by each term. The first one is positive, 4 times 2x, and this is negative, so it becomes negative 4 times y squared, and the last one is negative, so negative 4 times 5. X squared times 2x. Coefficient by coefficient will give us 2. X squared by x will give us x cubed. Negative x squared and y squared, they are different. In case of the multiplication, we have to combine them together, so it's negative x squared y squared. Negative x squared by 5, negative, and 5x squared. Positive by negative, it will become negative 4x by 2x. 4 by 2 is 8, and x by x will give us x squared. Negative, and here negative also. Negative by negative, it will become positive 4x and y squared. I can write it as 4xy squared. Negative by nothing, it will by positive, I mean it will become negative 4 by 5. We don't have any other variable, so 4 by 5 is 20, so it's 20x squared. This term, 4 times 2x is positive 8x. Negative 4 times y squared is negative 4y squared. Negative 4 by 5 is negative 20. Yes, we can combine the x squares together. Do we have any? Yeah, and we have this also. Any other similarities? No, we don't have. So negative 5x squared and negative 8x squared and negative 20x squared. Just add the numbers. Negative 5 and negative 8 is negative 13. Negative 13 and negative 20 is negative 33. So it will become 2x cubed minus x squared y squared negative 33x squared and then whatever left plus 4xy squared plus 8x minus 4y squared minus or negative 20. Now we will do the division. 8x over 2x. Remember, in case of the multiplication, we said multiply the coefficient by coefficient, and then in case of you have the similar variable, it doesn't matter about the exponent, add the exponents. In case of division, if you remember in the exponents, we have to subtract the exponents. Now 8 over 2 is equal 4. X can be cancelled with x. They are exactly the same, so cancel them. So the answer is 4. We'll see later that we have to put the condition that x shouldn't be equal to 0. Now we will do the division. Remember, in the multiplication, we multiply the coefficients, and in case of having variables with the same base, we add the exponents. If you remember, in case of division, what we should do with the exponents, we should subtract them. That's exactly what we're gonna use here. Suppose that we have the following example, 8x over 2x. X can be cancelled with x. Why? Let me remind you, x over x. This one is to the power 1, and this is to the power 1. In case of division, it will be 1 minus 1, and x to the power 0 in this case is equal 1, in case that x is not equal to 0. So x will be cancelled with x, and the answer is going to be 1. 8 over 2, the answer is 4. Second example, 3x squared y over x y squared. Again, 3 over 1, which is 3. Now, we will do the following simplification. X squared over x, which is x to the power 2 minus 1. Remember, we subtract the exponents in case we have the same variable or the variable with the same base. And what about y and y squared? It will be y to the power, this is 1 and this is 2, so it's 1 minus 2. We continue, 3 to the power. X to the power 2 minus 1, which is x to the power 1. Y to the power 1 minus 2, which is negative 1. Remember, this can be written as 1 over y. So as if we are putting the y in the denominator. So the final answer is going to be 3x, no need for the exponent number equal 1, over y. Two xy plus x squared minus 6x over x. Now I want you to know or to remember one thing. Do you remember in case of the multiplication? We should distribute. If we have a bracket and a bracket, we should distribute the multiplication. The same thing in case of the division. We should distribute the division. So this can be written as 2xy over x. This plus will come as plus x squared over x. This minus will become as minus or negative 6x over x. This x will be cancelled with this x. So what's left is 2y over 1, which is 2y, plus x squared over x. 2 minus 1, which is 1. So it's x to the power 1, which is x. X will be cancelled with x. So what's left is negative 6. The same thing here. Negative 5x squared plus 6xy plus x squared y over negative xy. Distribution, so it's minus or negative 5x squared over negative xy plus 6xy over negative xy plus, which is this, plus x squared y over negative xy. The negative with negative will give us positive. So y here will not be cancelled or operated with any other y. So it will remain in the denominator. What about this? So this negative with negative, it will become as positive. 5 will remain as 5. And the y will remain as y. So what's left is here. X squared over x is known to be x. So the 5, same. The y, same. Negative and negative will give us positive. Positive and negative will give us negative. xy and xy will be cancelled. You can cancel x with x and y with y. So what's left? 6. Positive and negative will give us negative. The y will be cancelled with the y. X squared over x is known to be x. Here, we will distribute it. So it's minus or negative 3xy over xy squared. This minus will come as minus negative 3xy squared over 4x, and this plus will become as plus negative 3xy squared over y. Be careful and be careful and be careful. I've seen this mistake a lot of times. This is wrong. The distribution that I just mentioned is only if you have plus, or you have more than one, plus or minus, or you have more than one term in the numerator. We don't care about the denominator. So the distribution only in case of the numerator, not in the denominator. So this one is wrong. What I did here is wrong, completely wrong. So this cannot be simplified. It cannot be simplified. I can't take the 3x squared over this and then over this and over this. If the question was xy squared minus or negative 4x plus y over negative 3xy squared, in this case I can say yes, xy squared over negative 3xy squared, and then the minus or negative 4x over negative 3xy squared, and then y plus y over negative 3xy squared. So we do the distribution only in case of having more than one term in the numerator, and then we can continue. But this cannot be simplified. Be careful, please. Now we'll do some mixed examples. Mixed examples means that we have multiplication with addition and subtraction or division. Negative 3x times a bracket plus x squared minus x. In case to proceed, we should get rid of the bracket. And the bracket here, we have a multiplication. So a negative 3x will be multiplied by x, and negative 3x will be multiplied by 1. So negative 3x times x, and then negative 3x times 1 plus x squared minus x. Negative 3x times x, same base. We don't care about if we have, because it's a multiplication, if we have the same exponents or not. The only thing that we know that we need to add the exponents. They are the same. Add them, 1 plus 1, which is equal to b, 2. So it's negative 3x squared. Negative 3x times 1 is the same, which is negative 3x plus x squared negative x. Negative 3x squared and plus x squared. Remember, in case of addition and subtraction, we need the same base with the same exponent. So x squared cannot be added to x like this one, no, or this, no. The only thing with x squared. So negative 3x squared, let me rewrite it, plus x squared, and then negative 3x and negative x. So these two terms are similar, and these two terms are similar. Negative 3x squared and x squared. So this is 1. Negative 3 and 1 is negative 2x squared. Negative 3x and negative x is negative 4x. That's it. We have multiplication, 3x times, and we have squared, and we have x division. First of all, we have to get rid of the bracket. So this can be written as 3x, and then what we should do in case of having an exponent here, square the first one. So be careful, this is x squared to the power 2, square it. Because we have minus 2 times the first one, which is x squared. The first one is x squared, times the second one, which is 5. Then plus the second one squared. So it's 5 squared. I can do it this way because 3x is multiplied by everything. Over x. 3x. X squared to the power 2, or squared again. Remember, if we have a power raised to another power, what we should do, we should multiply the powers. So 2 times 2, which is 4, x to the power 4. Negative 2 times x squared times 5 is negative 10x squared. Plus 5 squared is known to be 25 over x. Now what we should do, we should multiply 3x by everything here. 3x times x to the power 4. Now minus 3x times 10x squared. 10x squared. Plus, this plus will become here. 3x times 25 over x. 3 will remain the same. X times x to the power 4 is known to be x to the power 5. Negative 3 times 10 is negative 30x cubed. Plus 3 times 25 is 75x over x. We have more than one term in the numerator, so we can do this, the distribution. I'll write here. So it's 3x to the power 5 over x. Negative 30x to the power 3 over x. And this is plus 75x over x. 3 over 1, which is 3. X to the power 5 over x. 5 minus 1, which is x to the power 4. Negative 3 and 1, negative 30 and 1, negative 30. X to the power 3 minus, or over x to the power 1 is known to be 3 minus 1, which is 2. And then this x will be cancelled with this x, and the answer is 75. There is another way, which is way simpler. Did you notice something? From the beginning, I can cancel this x with this x. Why? Because we don't have like addition between this term and this term. The multiplication is between them, so we can cancel x with x. So what's left is 3 times x squared minus 5 to the power 2, which is 3 times, remember what's the answer here? It's x to the power 4 minus 10x squared plus 25. If we multiply 3 times x to the power 4 is 3x to the power 4. 3 times negative 10 is negative 30x squared. And 3 times 25 is 75. See the answer here? It is exactly as this. Please like and share the video. Please also subscribe in the channel. Thanks for watching.